It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. A front extending from the lower Great Lakes southwestward to the southern high plains will move eastward into the northeast coast. It'll also affect the southern half of the boundary as it moves northward as a warm front over the southern plains. The front will start showers and severe thunderstorms from western New York into the southern plains. The showers and storms will likely cause heavy rain to develop over parts of the southern plains into the lower Mississippi Valley. Furthermore, there's going to be another region of increased threat of hail, 2 inches or greater in size, and it'll be over parts of the central and southern plains into the lower Midwest. Potential hazards include frequent lightning, wind gusts, and tornadoes. Closer to home, persistent dry west flow will continue with the very low humidity and above average temperatures. Winds will be on the low end of the warning criteria, but humidity and dry fuels will be well into warning criteria. Winds will diminish some, allowing the warming to end, but very low humidity will continue all night. As a result, the National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning in effect from noon until 9 p.m. today. A red flag warning means that critical fire weather conditions are either occurring now or will shortly. A combination of strong winds, low relative humidity, and warm temperatures can contribute to extreme fire behavior. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. Crews continue to battle the Moser Fire. It's located in the area near Cloudcroft. The Tularosa Basin Regional Dispatch Authority did lift the evacuation order last evening. No homes or property have been reported as being burned at this time. No injuries have been reported at this time. Cloudcroft Mayor Craig Turner spoke with Crazy Radio about who he would like to recognize.
The USFD, the Forest Department, the Hot Shots, and the local fire departments are just absolute heroes. They've just been amazing. The Cloudcroft community is so strong and resilient and gracious through this whole thing. So many individuals, businesses, restaurants, and hotels have offered free hotel rooms for evacuees, as well as, prepared meals, water, supplies, Gatorade. It's been an all-hands-on-deck team effort.
Caleb Finch of the Sacramento Ranger District spoke with KVIA about the time frame expected.
For several days, we'll focus on getting that perimeter really secure, and then we'll have resources out here continuing to secure and move interior, making sure all those hot spots are extinguished. So I would say about 14 days we'll have people out here watching this.
That, of course, depends on conditions. This also shows how fast these fires can spread. With resources and manpower, the fires can be stopped, but it takes time. And remember, the fires in recent years and devastation they all brought, please remember to remain cautious.
Now more than ever, it's important to just use good fire safety when you're out enjoying the forest. I know the local businesses in Cloudcroft are doing an amazing job stepping up and, they're supporting the community during this time, so it's just phenomenal.
Amanda Fry, Public Affairs Officer with the U.S. Forest Service, speaking with KRWG. A shelter for displaced individuals has been set up at the Cloudcroft High School. Animal shelters were set up at the Otero County Fairgrounds in Alamogordo. According to the Lincoln National Forest officials, the fire is now 96 acres in size and 12% contained. The Otero County Detention Center says 8 detainees attempted to incite a riot on Tuesday night. The jail's director says the inmates barricaded themselves on the second floor of the maximum security unit for several hours after one of them was disciplined for threatening staff. The jail says the inmates were armed with makeshift weapons and set fire to brooms. Law enforcement were able to quell the disturbance around 1 a.m. yesterday morning. The 8 detainees were taken into custody and transferred to a different facility. They have also been charged for their actions. The disturbance ended with no injuries to staff, detainees, or law enforcement. The City of Alamogordo street maintenance crews will prep and lay hot mix asphalt at 500 to 600 North White Sands Boulevard between the hours of 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. today. During this time, both northbound lanes and one southbound lane of that area will be closed. Northbound drivers will be detoured via 5th Street. Southbound drivers will funnel into the outer lane of White Sands. Please adhere to the designated detour routes. Good news for those who want to go fishing this weekend. Crazy Radio's Sarah Morrow reports.
Bonito Lake is finally scheduled to reopen to fishing on May 25th. Angling will only be allowed from the lake shore in open areas, excluding the shore near the dam and the Bonito Creek Inlet. The department will stock the lake with rainbow trout prior to its opening. For Crazy Radio, I'm Sarah Morrow.
You can hear Sarah's fishing reports weekends on Crazy Radio, as well as on our YouTube channel. Register now for the summer reading program, available both at the Alamogordo and Tularosa public libraries. The program is free and open to people of all ages. Alamogordo 575-439-4148. Tularosa 575-585-2711. Due to technical difficulties, This Week at Thrive with Stephanie Hale was not heard yesterday, so we're going to hear it today.
Hi, this is Stephanie Hale with Thrive in Southern New Mexico, and today I'd like to talk with you about our upcoming campaign for our local nonprofit programs. Thrive in Southern New Mexico holds an annual campaign to raise money for our local nonprofits in both Otero and Lincoln counties. Our nonprofit partner agencies provide many services to further social causes, such as education, health, and welfare to our Southern New Mexico citizens. Thrive works with businesses and organizations throughout our local communities to allow their employees to donate to their favorite charities through payroll deduction. If you aren't participating in Thrive's annual campaign, contact us today and we will help you get started. Thrive also hosts many different and exciting events throughout the year. Some of our upcoming events include our annual Stuff the Bus school supply drive being held on July 26th. Then on August 3rd, we will be giving away backpacks in Chaparral, New Mexico. Our annual campaign will kick off with a breakfast open to the public on August 30th. And a new and exciting community event, the inaugural Corks and Shells Pistachio and Wine Festival, will be happening on Saturday, October 19th at Alameda Park. You can reach us at 575-437-8400 or at 1601 10th Street in Alamogordo, or even jump on our website, letsthrivnm.org. That's it for this week. I'm Stephanie Hale with Thrive in Southern New Mexico, and I'll be back next week and every Wednesday right here on Crazy Radio, so we can keep you informed about our activities and impacts as they pertain to the Tularosa Basin.
And today being Thursday, it's now time to hear from our good friend, Pastor Lauren Noble.
Good morning, 95.1 listeners. This is Pastor Lauren with our Thursday Thought. Sometimes I struggle with the concept that my plan is perhaps not working out because it is not meant to be, or not meant to be at this particular time. Case in point, recently I've been looking at property in La Luz or Tularosa because I would like to move back there at some point in time in life. And it seems that when I'm interested in a piece of property, it is under contract or pending when I call on it. I can look at that one of two ways. Perhaps I'm not supposed to move back there later on, and that's why it is not working out. Or maybe I will look back later on and think, well, I'm sure glad that that didn't work out like I wanted, and I'm where I'm currently at. So perhaps most of us are that same way, like that, and we do not embrace the unknown very well, and wherever I'm supposed to go in the future and what doors are supposed to open will, but in the meantime, I just have to kind of relax and hope for the best. Let me say a prayer for us. Lord, help me and all of us to not get discouraged if things do not work out like we wish. Later on, we may see that what we wanted was not so good for us after all. Amen. Until we meet up again on the airwaves, blessings to you.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a full book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
You know, for the last few years, most of us have been saying this.
I feel like the criminals in this state of New Mexico are protected and have more rights than the victims.
Criminals in this state are protected and have more rights than victims. That was Angel Chester speaking with KOAT. Her sister, Victoria Bencomo, was shot at a high school graduation 2 weeks ago. 21-year-old Christian Bencomo has been charged with shooting his stepmother, Victoria. But yesterday, during his arraignment, Judge Emetrio Rudolfo said that since Bencomo has no criminal history, he is not a danger to the public.
You know, they have gathered the evidence against the defendant for the crime that he committed
And I just don't see that as clear and convincing evidence to rise to the level of bullying.
He was instead placed on house arrest.
He gets to, go home and sleep in a warm bed. My sister's sleeping in a hospital bed every night with tubes in her neck.
One of the more serious charges against Christian Bencomo is aggravated battery against a household member, which is a third-degree felony. A charge like this could lead to a long time behind bars. But since he's been charged with such a violent crime in the beginning, shouldn't he be behind bars right now? Or am I crazy for thinking so?
I don't feel like my sister is safe. I don't feel like even I'm safe.
The judge ruled that Bencomo is not allowed to leave his home, and since he ignored the laws around shooting his stepmother, I'm sure he'll behave just fine. Further court dates have not yet been provided. New Mexico has been making big investments into water. The latest quarterly performance assessment from the New Mexico Environment Department shows an investment of over $11 million in the third quarter of fiscal year 2024 and a total of more than $50 million so far. The Environment Department has a goal of supporting 115 new water infrastructure projects in fiscal year 2024. So far, they've already passed 200. That means the department dispersed funds to local communities for projects such as drinking water improvements, stormwater collection, and wastewater management. The money comes from various sources, such as the legislator-approved Capital Outlay, the Clean Water State Revolving Loan Fund, and the Rural Infrastructure Program. In 2024, state lawmakers approved funds for arsenic treatment in Albuquerque, Cornell, Tijeras, Angel Fire, Carlsbad, Roy, Hobbs, Lovington, Carrizozo, Columbus, and other communities. Many of those projects were requested by community members through the capital outlay process. For the first time, the number of Americans who use marijuana just about every day has surpassed the number who drink that often, a shift some 40 years in the making, as recreational weed use became more mainstream and legal in nearly half of U.S. states.
Far out, man!
In 2022, an estimated 17.7 million people reported using marijuana daily or near daily, compared to 14.7 million daily or near daily drinkers. In 1992, when daily pot use hit a low point, less than 1 million people said they were using it nearly every day. The research is based on data from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health and was published yesterday in the journal Addiction. The survey is highly regarded as self-reported estimates of tobacco, alcohol, and drug use in the U.S. The number of daily users suggests that more people are at risk for developing problematic cannabis use or addiction. The village of Los Ranchos, located in Bernalillo County, announced yesterday that their mayor, Joe Craig, had passed away. Those close to Craig say he loved his community and was steadfast in preserving the village's charm and rural way of life. Mel Eves, Craig's friend, spoke with KOB.
All he wanted was to protect the neighborhoods we live in. That was his goal. And that was his goal when he ran for mayor.
Craig was elected to the position in November. Officials did not specify how he passed away. Mayor Joe Craig was 74. The National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning in effect from noon until 9 p.m. today. A red flag warning means that critical fire weather conditions are either occurring now or will shortly. A combination of strong winds, low relative humidity, and warm temperatures can contribute to extreme fire behavior. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies. Areas of patchy blowing dust this afternoon. Winds will be gusting as high as 28 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, winds gusting as high as 28. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting as high as 21. Your high today in the basin, 87. Low tonight of 57. High tomorrow, 88 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny skies today, winds gusting as high as 31 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, winds gusting as high as 31. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting as high as 24. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 65. Low tonight of 42. High tomorrow, 67 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org. Also learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. You can also check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel, because that's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. Well, that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.